we're gonna go out to Pasos and Pedales. This is the first time I've taken the GoPro with the mic, with the selfie stick. I'm mostly over the being self-conscious about people, what they think, with you filming, and I'm mostly over that. But this having the selfie stick or the GoPro stick adds a different element. I just don't like bringing attention to myself. So this will be a little different experience for me, but we'll get it done. I love going out to Pasos and Pedales in Guatemala City every Sunday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And it's fantastic. I love seeing everyone's dogs. I love seeing the dog adoption centers that have, dogs that you can adopt, all the puppies and stuff. I can't have a puppy in this apartment or a dog, and I love dogs, and that kind of scratches the itch of wanting dogs. So we'll see, and we'll go out and have a good time. It's a beautiful day. So let's get going. It is the nice part of the season in Guatemala before it starts to get hot. Like, this is the beginning of their summer, even though it's early March. It's the 7th today, I think, 6th or 7th. So April, May, early June, it's going to get hot. Then rainy season comes June through basically September, October. And that cools everything down, which is nice, but it's just, the mornings until like 10 a.m. are nice. Then it gets cloudy, and then it rains, like sometimes starting at 12, sometimes 1, 2, 3, and then it often rains just through the rest of the night, and does that most days for all those months. You do get sunny days here and there, but they are seldom. You get enough of them where plants will grow and things like that, but just getting this stick figured out here. This selfie stick, self-conscious stick, I want to call it. One last sip of the coffee here, and we'll get going. Turn off all the lights. See how that's filming. Everything looks good. Audio looks good. All right, let's head out. Sometimes I'm a fan of those new electronic locks with the keypad. Sometimes I am not. Just got to remember to change the battery on those things. How's our lens looking? Any smudges? Nope. Beautiful day, as you can see. A couple clouds, blue sky. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. It's a pretty new building that I'm staying in this year. I think it's 2 years old. There's still a handful of apartments available. There's a 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom. The smaller 2-bedroom right now, I toured it, is going for about a little under 200,000, and then the bigger one is going for like Buenos Dias. Hello. Is going for like 220, something like that. And then the 3-bedroom is going for, God, I think close to 300, maybe 320. It's nice, and it also has a maid's quarter. That's a pretty common thing in Latin America. Is you have like it's a tiny room that a lot of apartments, a lot of houses have built in for I guess the politically correct term is domestic help. Your cleaning person, your maid. They do everything. They clean, they cook. Most of them do everything. So, and that's nice. So that could be, even if you're a family and you got, a baby, that could be like a baby's room. It's big enough for like a single size bed, maybe a dresser, and then it usually has its own bathroom. My buddy Johnny Rico, they have one for their help at their house. So look at this, just fantastic day out. Beautiful day. Enjoy it before. So this is Inara. Let's see if I can. This is a pretty new building as well. All right. That's new. All right, and then you see these guys. See right there. Well, parking's free. All right, all this parking is free, but people come, and this happens all the time. If there's an event going on, anytime it's going to get busy, and then they lay out these empty soap, laundry soap containers, and they'll take care of the car. You give them whatever, so many quetzales, and they'll watch your car. Sometimes they'll watch it and wash it, and just keep an eye on it. I'm all for people making a buck, especially here. I mean, there's so many people in poverty, and everyone needs to make a buck here, but it's free parking, so they just come and kind of like take over and make you pay for it. It's fine. I have no problem with it. It's just that's what it is. It's free parking, but you're paying for it. So here we go. It's popping. It's popping in Pasos and Pedales. Oh my God. Look at that little pug. Hey, buddy. So cute. The dogs already. Dogs already. I'm gonna go sit in some shade. Now we're gonna go see if we can get some Cruz Verde. This is one of the big pharmacies. Oops. One of the big pharmacies. That's the one I like to go to. I find that it's cheaper than the other ones for the stuff that I need. And maybe the adoption dogs are that way. We're gonna go that way. But Farmacia Helena's, that one's open like 24 hours. But I feel like whenever I go in that one, I feel like I'm walking into a jail. Because it's open 24 hours, so they have the bars up and everything. And the cool thing about pharmacies here is that they deliver free of charge. Absolutely free of charge. So it's nice to give the guy a tip, but half of the motorbike jobs around here are, I shouldn't say half, I don't know, but a ton of them are just people delivering. Look how many people are out. You got all the food vendor tents, people biking, having a good time. People on roller skates right there. Yeah. Let's go check out the oh, look at this. That's awesome. All kinds of crazy stuff you see at Pasos and Pedales. Oh, it doesn't look like they have the... I can't tell if they got the dogs out. The adoption dogs. Oh yeah, no, it looks like they're there. It looks like they're there. Granizadas right here. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this guy. Can I pet him? Hey, buddy. He's a little timida. Hey, nombre?
Argos.
Argos. Hey. Cute. Cute. Gracias. Buen día. Yeah, some dogs just don't want to be petted by someone other than their owner. Here we go, my favorite place. This is my favorite place. Hey, buddy. Hey, you. Nombre?
Pito.
Victor? Hey. It's so chill. So chill. Soft little guy. Yeah, yeah. That feels good. Siente bien. Yeah. Oh my God. Hey, you. Oh, look at this guy.
Fíjense que todos vienen de Shela, ellos fueron rescatados en Shela. La de rosado con blanco, ella sí tiene 6 meses, de ahí todos tienen 2 meses y meses. A mí me encanta esta. A mí me encantó ella. Ella me encanta. Ella se llama Tortillita, tiene 2 meses y medio. Fue camada de 9.
Hey, look at that guy. ¿Nombre?
No estoy segura.
¿Y tú?
Valeria.
Mucho gusto.
Igual.
So suave. See, everyone loves the dogs. Everyone loves the dogs. The nicer the day, the more people come out. So this is the place. Animals Hope. They're here almost every Sunday. Almost every Sunday. Sometimes, I don't know, they take a break or go somewhere else. We'll see. Another little puppy. Dude, look at this. Got all this stuff for kids. This. Okay, they got stuff going, army recruitment stuff. Get them while they're young, get the kids while they're young. People selling all sorts of shit. Hot Wheels. This is awesome. This is this is why I love coming out on Sundays. Seeing everyone having a good time. If you go up farther this way, everyone's eating Little Caesars. As I've shown before, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Another adoption center. These guys often have cats at this one. Oh my God. ¿Puedo?
Puede, él es súper noble, súper lindo.
¿Nombre?
Puchi.
Puchi. Oh my God. I love pugs. I love
Eso,
pugs.
lindos,
Yeah. Hey, you.
Papi, papi, mira. Mira, papa.
Hey, oh, there we go. Perfect. Gracias.
Okay.
Buen dia. Oh, look, this guy's got a rabbit. Bonito. Yeah, these guys. Oh, wiener dogs. Yeah. That's the Farmacia Heleno. That's the other big one. I mean, there's a handful of big ones. I think that's like Farmacias Similares in Mexico. It's like I think that's the biggest one in Mexico, and this is probably the biggest one in Guatemala. And then that paleta place is that's a paint store. You see those all over. And let's go check out where the fire department sets up. We got all sorts of nuts and treats there. One thing you gotta watch out for with all these dogs is the random piles of dog shit. They will sneak up on you. They will sneak up on you. So it's tough filming here. You gotta keep, oh, look at more pugs. Oh, so cute. Yeah. Nice. You got the pina cart. 20 quetzales for a tray of pina and some chamoy and tajin. They got micheladas.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Good, man. Even without beer? Oh, man, everyone loves mich. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I got pineapple. That looks good. Yeah. Everyone getting fruit trays. So this is fire department comes almost every Sunday as well, and they let kids play with the fire hose. We'll go over there in a second. More dogs. Of course, Latin America, Chihuahuas everywhere. And then this water area, dogs love it. The only thing you got to watch out for yourself is they put so much chlorine in here. I've accidentally sat where it's been wet on a Sunday, and it has bleached a little spot on my shorts. So these guys. Duff beer. Yep. And they kind of have to put bleach in it. You can see how funky it gets. But yeah, let's go check out the other side. Sounds like there's some chaos going on. Look at this. Oh, that golden retriever's having the time of his life. That is funny. Get your photos here. I got a buddy, Fabio, used to go to jiu-jitsu at Rillion. Oh my God, so many pugs. So many pugs. You got beautiful flowers. But yeah, this is why jiu-jitsu is so great. His only goal was to get in shape get past this fire truck. His only goal of doing it was to get in shape so he could become a firefighter. And I mean, jiu-jitsu is fantastic for that. I've seen so many people come and they've, had a big old gut on them. They've been fat, and 6 months, 9 months later of them come in 2-3 times, maybe more a week. And you're like, who is that person now? Who is that person now? So look at this, just good, wholesome community outreach. Fire department connecting with the locals. I was a firefighter for a little bit in college in Mankato, Minnesota. That was one of the funnest times of my life. It is as most of the time it is as fun as it looks being a firefighter. Most of the calls you get are not fires, surprisingly, because a lot of cities, counties, when hey there, hola, hey, hey. Most of the departments, cities and counties, when there's a medical call, they always call the fire department as well. So it's just kind of who gets there first, because most firefighters are trained in basic medical CPR stuff. So they send out the ambulance and send out the fire truck. But man, this is Sundays. Look at this. It's everyone having a good time. The vibe just feels so good. Pasos and Pedales, Guatemala City, Zone 1314. This is great. I love this. It's a big reason I live in this area. I would like to pay less for my apartment. I was paying $550 a month in Mexico, in Morelia, Mexico. It was in a gated neighborhood. I was in a 5-story apartment building, and close to everything. Here, I'm close to everything. It's not a gated. It's got security in the building. I didn't have security at in Morelia, but it was in you had to have a key or the clicker to get into that neighborhood. But here I'm paying $900 and in Morelia it was a 2-bedroom apartment. It was barely furnished. There's that dog that was getting all the water. Hey, how are you?
Fine, what about
Hey.
Hi.
It's so nice having a day off.
Yeah,
right. I was like, yes, no problem.
Yeah.
That's your dog that was playing with water? That's so cute. Oh. Hey, see you, Allie. That's a girl from jiu-jitsu. That was her dog. We're both. So I'm in yoga teacher training, and basically it's 7 days a week, with Saturday and Sunday being the lecture and the theory part. And we got today off, which was super nice. That's the only reason I'm out right now, because normally it's from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. of yoga on Saturday and Sunday. So, what was I saying? The apartments, yeah. So I pay $900 here for a 1-bedroom. It's much more furnished, way more furnished. I should say the apartment in Morelia barely had a bed, it had a table, it had a few dishes. And no cooking, no pots and pans. Here, this one basically has everything, including pictures on the wall, towels, bedding for the bed. So I'd say it's basically 100% furnished. But I don't like paying that much, and $900 is kind of a deal for Guatemala City, in Zone 1314, for a newer building. All right, I would like to live. I'd be willing to live out farther, to pay less, but I'm not willing to deal with the traffic. Okay, not willing to deal with the traffic. It's absolutely insane here. The traffic is absolutely insane. Like I said before, I know local Guatemalans who have a 1.5-2 hour drive each way to and from work to get to their job. That's so much time spent in a car. I shouldn't say it's very common, but it's not uncommon for people to have an apartment to rent just a 1-bedroom in the city in zone 13, 14, 10, 9, 2, 1, just to be closer to work during the week, so they're not spending that much time in their car. I mean, podcasts are great, audiobooks are great, but 3-4 hours a day, I mean, that's just so much of your life over a decade, over all your working years. So I get why people will have the apartment in the city. So let's see what else we can get into here. Check out this pina cart over here. See dogs everywhere. You gotta watch out for the dog do. Yeah, I got some watermelon, some pina. What's up, bro? Look at this Gordito pit bull. A few more coming. Hey. This is the one of my first days I was here. It was during COVID, and actually they had Pasos and Pedales, but it was that direction of traffic that they had shut down, and a family was like playing here, kicking around a ball with their dog, and they kicked it this way, and it was right here. The ball went out, the dog chased after it, and someone just ran right over the dog. I mean, they really, you couldn't blame the person. They had no time to react. But the crappy thing is they just kept on driving. They didn't stop, and that was really tough for me to watch, because the dog like convulsed a little before it died. But oh yeah, I don't even like thinking about it. I like dogs too much. There you go. We got some Pomeranians there. Yeah, but yeah, this hotel. So this is staying in that hotel was how I knew I was in a different country, because I came here in January or February. I think it was 2021, and I wake up in the morning and it's super cold. Like the bed had nice thick blankets, but it had a window unit. So, and I went over to it and it had a heat button, and I pressed it, but it's just all this just cold air coming out. And I called down to the front, or I walked down there and I was like, "Hey man, how do I turn the heat on?" He's like, "There's no heat in the rooms here." So it's hey there. Heat, like electric heat, is not common, and you really only need it for, if you would use it, it would be for like 1 or 2 months maybe. Up in Shela, maybe 3 months. It does get a bit colder up there, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of living in the Altiplano, which is an elevated range that goes from kind of New Mexico, or not New Mexico, but in central Mexico, all the way down to into El Salvador and I think Nicaragua. So because of the elevation, it doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. It gets sunny, that's for sure. Sometimes if I'm out too long, just in my t-shirt, my arms will start to get pink. I'm part Irish too, so I burn pretty easily. But yeah, so and they're like, yeah, we don't have a heater. So in my current unit, my current apartment, I have air conditioning, a split unit just in the bedroom. That's super rare. Okay, but it seems to be becoming more common with some of the newer units. Elemental building over by Plaza Berlin, way down at the end, past the Pope statue. Um, I've stayed in a handful of Airbnbs there that have had um, air conditioning. So, and again, it's another thing like the heat. You only need it, a handful of months, if you need it at all. You really don't. My first apartments that I had here, I just got a fan. I just got floor fan and just blew that on me as I was working throughout the day. And then when I'm working, I work IT remote. I just wear gym shorts and a t-shirt. So um, dress for the weather, I guess. So I'm and that's speaking of not wearing a shirt. That's that's one of the things you notice in Latin America right away. Is in the United States, guys will go out running without a shirt on, and um, here it's super uncommon. Like maybe I'll see one guy today on on a Sunday here without a shirt. It's super rare, and I think it's just because it's more of a conservative culture. You don't see many girls running in just like a sports bra or a sports tank top that shows a lot of skin, and that's fine. That's just how it is. That's just how it is here. You adapt, and what's up, man? And you know, just don't make yourself a big spotlight. Got some Shucos going on here. Look at that. Yeah. Hot dogs with bacon wrapped in them. Yeah. That looks good. That looks good. Bunch of more stuff. See, it's food vendors everywhere, man. You cannot skip this. You cannot skip this if you come visit Guatemala City. You got to check it out. But yeah, so the shirt thing. That's one thing I would like to be different. I noticed that in Puerto Rico as well. Even as hot as Puerto Rico is, you still don't see a ton of people. You see more than you do here, just because of the heat, but you don't see as many running without a shirt on. If you go to the coast, if you go to El Paradon or you go to Rio Dulce, Puerto Barrios, yeah, people dress way differently. They dress for the weather, a lot less clothing. You have to. You have to. So I think even though it's still like a conservative country, I think people get it. They understand, when you gotta dress for the weather. So yeah, things are just different. You just adapt. Don't try to force your way. Oh, the weekend's here. Not quite the weekend, but a similar, more voluminous weekend hairstyle. Yeah. Yeah, so that guy's not supposed to be driving. I don't know how he got there. Maybe he lives somewhere, but they blocked the roads off. Got this kid selling ice cream. Anything to make a buck. People gotta hustle here. I don't think there's Social Security. They have free healthcare, some free hospitals, but I've been to those hospitals. It's not great. I mean, you get the basics done. My girlfriend's son broke his arm. They took care of it there. You had to get I think some pins or some screws put in. But man, it's the government does not give a ton of money to it. I mean, they need more They need more money for medicines, for just better equipment. A lot of times it's the doctors that are in med school. Those are most of the doctors at Roosevelt, at least. My ex-girlfriend is a doctor, and she was finishing her training there. So that's how I know about it. But there's plenty of paid hospitals, paid clinics, and you got to understand, most people in the United States don't get this. Just the image that the news and government and their friends tell them about Mexico, about Guatemala is 90% incorrect. Most of my family is probably surprised how I'm still alive. Because you talk about Mexico, you talk about Guatemala, anywhere Central America. Isn't it dangerous there? Because they're not gonna. The news is not gonna show you. Americans been living in Mexico, Guatemala for 20, 30 years with no issues and loves their life. Like that's not a story they're gonna put on the news. They put on the negative stuff because that's what gets people to watch it every night. That's why they tell you about all the murders in the city, wherever you're from. And look, and it's here too. Like, I see the only time I see the local news is at the gym. Sometimes they play it at the gym, and you'll see it's just murder after murder after murder. But those are in zones I don't go to, zones I haven't even been to, and zones I really don't plan on going to. So, the places, the zones where we got some four-wheelers going on. Everyone's just tooling around. The zones where people move to. There's a reason they move to those zones. There's not the crime, not the traffic. Now, I got robbed in Zone 10 and Zone 14, or I got mugged. I think it's the official term. Just for my phone. They just want your phone, but I was doing stuff. I was doing stuff that people had said. Don't walk around like a praying mantis with your phone in your hands, praying mantis hands, and don't walk around alone at night. And so that's what happened on both of them. But let's see what else we can check out. Yeah, everyone's out with their family, out with their friends, having a good time. They got cops out, so it's safe. I've never seen any weird shenanigans happening on Sunday. See what we got over here. Got some stuffed animals. All sorts of trinkets, toys. Oh, this guy's got everything. It's like a little thrift shop. You got old Pokemon stuff, Nintendo 64 games, DS games. You got a Rancor from Star Wars, Halo. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep walking towards Parque Las Americas, the mall. These are new apartment buildings right here. Parque 14, Parque 14. I was looking at some of those, but I just didn't want to. So my first apartment was about the same distance as those are from the road here, but down that way. The building's called Bellini. And that entire year, I did not sleep well because almost every night during the week, sometimes on the weekends, because this is a loop, you know, this is one direction and that's the other direction. You know, kids, teenagers, whatever, they come out on their enduro bikes with the loud mufflers. There's no, you know, there's no noise law enforcement here, and I'm fine with that. But if you just have single pane windows and with no soundproofing, it was hard to get to sleep. And even when they go, you know, they only last until maybe 9:30, 10:30 at the latest. But then you could still kind of, if you're a light sleeper, it was still tough to sleep. So that entire year, like, you know, my best night of sleep on any night would be, you know, 80% of what it should be or could be. So that's just, and it's an older building. It's an older building. And so that's one of the things when you're looking for an apartment, is go to it during the day and then also go to it during the night. There's another apartment up one of these streets down here. It's a beautiful building. Actually, I think it's this one right here. And it was furnished. I really liked it, but I went to it at night because I had already lived down at that one. And even though it was up the side street, it was the first apartment up the street, and it was still close enough where I was like, I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it, with the possibility of it being sleep that's not good. In my 40s, since turning 40, and since reading Dr. Matthew Walker's book about why we sleep, I have prioritized sleep so much more. In my like late 20s and 30s to like late 30s, I would go, you know, 5 hours, 6 hours, and that was just the norm. And some people, I think, some people are like, yeah, I've had 5-6 hours of sleep a night for, you know, my entire adult life. Like, that still doesn't mean, like, yeah, you can function, but what you're ignoring is what's happening on a molecular and cellular level. All right, there's so much. If you read that Dr. Matthew Walker's book, there's so much that happens with our brains, with our tissue repair, with our cell repair, with our mitochondria, when we have the proper amount of cycles, the proper amount of sleep cycles each night. And when we don't, like, it's so bad for us. It's so bad for us. And that book kind of freaked me out and scared me a little bit. It actually made me anxious for a while I was reading the book. It was tough getting to sleep, because I was like, man, if I don't get I know what happens to my body when I don't get a good night's sleep. So now, and for a long time, it's so, you know, we all know it. It's so hard with the phones, but that's the best thing you can do. Put your phone down, no screens, no TV, no laptop. 2-3 hours before bed. I'm not even good at that. Complete darkness. So I got a silk sleep mask off of Amazon that I wear, and then I have a fan. Like, I'm one of those people that likes a little bit of white noise. So no gracias. I just had breakfast before going. And I take melatonin and magnesium. Magnesium helps with sleep. I take it at night, and I take melatonin, and I take CBD or CBN. I take a CBD dropper that has CBN in it. CBN is the cannabinoid that helps with sleep. So over here, this is like a little kids amusement park. It's open every weekend. They have like little mini roller coasters, bumper cars, rides and stuff for kids. You got to pay. You can walk through there for free, but if you want to do a ride, you gotta pay for it. All right, so that is Parque Las Americas. It's like a medium-sized mall. Well, it's got a La Torre in there. It's got a bunch of restaurants, a San Martin, a Skillets, a new lobster place. I don't know if the restaurants, the San Martin has been there for a while, the Skillets has been there for a while, but the other restaurant locations there, they seem to rotate every so often. I don't know how well they do with business. Up on the, and that's on the ground floor. Up on the top floor, they do have like a food court with like, you know, fast food. There's a Burger King. There's, I think there's a couple Asian foods up there. Some hot dog places, maybe a Subway, and the restrooms are on the top floor as well. But we're gonna check out this little kids area. With all these rides and shit. So during the week, the space is open, but the rides aren't operating. So during the week, you see people having, you know, just sitting here chilling during lunch, having a good time. Look at that. Kid. Little teacup ride. Yeah. Families out. That's what I love about Latin America. I noticed it almost as soon as I got to Puerto Rico. Families out, having a good time. They don't hate each other. Maybe they do, but they just hide it well. But it's just such a stark difference from, you know, how things are in the United States. So that's only 10 quetzales. That's like $1.50 to go play in that little trampoline type of thing. Yeah, families, man. Families are so tight. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's much of the culture, but you know, people can't afford to move out. So, and also, you know, one thing with the conservative culture is that girls will live with their parents until they get married. And I know, and it's not, you know, I know there's women who go live on their own, but I've talked to them and they say it is a battle. It is a battle, especially with their dad, when they want to move out, because it is just not the norm. All right, it's a conservative, protective, mostly patriarchal society. For good or for worse, you know, that's just how it is. It's just how it is. There's, you know, plenty of women go to college. I know women who are lawyers. Like I said earlier, my ex-girlfriend's a doctor. There's opportunities for everyone here. But yeah, it's normal. So I've known one girl I dated when I first moved here. She was in her late 30s and was still living with her parents. You know, which just, you know, to us Americans, United States people, that seems so foreign. You know, like you don't move back with your parents in your late 30s or 40s unless there's like you know, unless you're just you just went through and this is usually guys, you went through a nasty divorce and you lost everything, lost the kids, lost the house. You got to pay alimony, child support now. So yeah, that's usually the only times we see it in the States. So, but here it's out of necessity, you know. Even men will stay living at home just because they can't. You can't afford to go live out on your own, you know. So I think that, you know, that has its good, has its bad. You know, you don't get much privacy. The parents can never stop being parents. Even when I go home and I go home every Minnesota or every summer to Minnesota for 3-4 weeks, 2-3-4 weeks. And parents cannot stop being parents. All right. It's you know, it's very hard for them. So you go in, you come in. I love these trees. Look at this. I love these trees. I don't know what they're called, but they look so cool with those. It's kind of like mangrove roots, like they have in Florida. There's a couple of them over there. This is the Costa Rica, Plaza Costa Rica. Um, but yeah, so parents, it's super hard for them to stop being parents. All right, for better or for worse. So even when I go home, my dad's like making breakfast for me almost every day, making dinner almost every day. I leave. Oh, when are you gonna be back? He's not demanding about it, but they just they just can't help themselves. I don't have kids, but just based on observation, it's very hard for a parent to turn that spigot off and just let their kids be. Yeah, like I said, for better or for worse. Us as kids, it drives us nuts, doesn't it? I mean, it just depends on the degree of how much they're trying to monitor you and can control you. And hey, not everyone has a great relationship with their parents. Things with my mom are definitely different than things with my dad. Very abusive, very abusive home, verbally, physically, emotionally, and that really messed me up for a long time and carried a lot of shame. And lots of years of therapy, some psychedelic ceremonies, and I feel like the last few years have been, I've been really finding out who I really am, because we're told an image. Even if you're not told, hey, you are like this, or hey, you are this, you are smart. It's how you're treated. Kids absorb how they are treated. So even if you're never told, like, hey, you're dumb, or you're a klutz, or things like that. You're the source of all the problems of this family. Even if you're not told that, but you're treated like that, you're treated like a scapegoat, or you're treated like you're not intelligent, kids will take on that image. And it's a survival technique, okay? Because a child's brain, the one thing you need to understand is a child cannot fathom that there is a problem with their parent. Because as kids, parents are like gods to us. Like, hey, they always have food for us. They this is waving. They always have food for us. If they do the things they're supposed to do, it's we need them. We literally cannot live without them. And so, to a kid's mind, there's only 3 relationship options: a good relationship, which is what we all deserve and hope for; a bad relationship, which some of us get; or no relationship, which is basically suicide for a child. So that third one is not even an option. So what a child will do, what their brain, they're not doing this consciously, but what a child's brain will do is will adapt to the situation. If their parent, one of them or both of them, carry around so much shame, they were abused themselves, and they treat the kid unfairly and poorly, always yelling at them for the smallest things, etc., the kid will adapt a persona, will adapt an ideology that makes them fit to that. They'll start to think, okay, I am the problem. I can't fathom that my parent's the problem, so I am the problem. And then they'll adapt to that role, because that's just a little bit better for them than having no relationship with them. So just a little bit of my history, but go to therapy. There's no shame in therapy. Wait, be picky, be choosy. Look around, find a good therapist. I went through probably 3 or 4 until I found the guy that was good and I stuck with for a year. Having a therapist that doesn't just agree with you on everything. All right, they challenge you a little bit. That is super important. And if you had a messed up childhood, having a therapist who understands narcissism, that is so critical, because not every therapist does, and it just breaks my heart when I hear people who went to a therapist, and the therapist basically told them, like, get over it, get over your childhood. It's like, dude, did you even go to college? Like, did you even go to college? And I think a lot of therapists, unfortunately, have their own crap that they haven't worked through yet. Even though when you become a therapist, you have to go to therapy, like it's part of your training in school. But I don't think whatever happens, they don't go to it long enough. They don't open up enough. Who knows? Who knows what the issue is? Got some stickers right here. So, yeah. So go to therapy. Do some mushroom ceremonies. Do some ayahuasca. It's not for everyone. But I'll tell you what. I had already been in therapy for probably 4 years, and I did one mushroom ceremony last September, and that boy did that accelerate things, and did that make up. I mean, it seemed to make up for years of therapy. I'm super glad I went to therapy, but I think both of them together can be absolutely fantastic. So. Got more cops out, people having a good time. So many dogs. People rollerblading. Got the Little Caesars right there. Guy's got a giant boombox on the back of his bike. This is Guatemala City. I mean, this is just fantastic. Just fantastic. See, you got people who need. There's no social net. For services like people who have disabilities. If it is, it ain't much. So that's why you see at a lot of the stoplights, stop signs, you see people doing dances, juggling balls, washing windows, and just begging. I do see a handful of people that I've seen the same lady in the same spot since I've come here, and she, look, I don't know her situation, but she has a sign. She walks up super close to the car, and then holds the sign like an inch from the window. Like, I mean, the presence, the aura is a very demanding one. But hey, I don't know her situation, but for some of them, to me, it seems like I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not looking for a job here. I've never had a job here, but for some of them, it seems like, man, if you just spent that much time, you're out there, 5 days a week for 8 hours, 6-8 hours. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. But I would say most of them, have a legit need. Most of them have a legit need for money, and are very kind. Okay, they're very kind. They're dancing. They're juggling. They're super appreciative of whatever you can give them. So, and I try to do that whenever I can. I'm super happy to help people out as much as I can. There's that bunny we saw earlier. So cute. So super happy to help people out whenever I can. I don't give all my life. I got to have my own life. But you get what I'm saying. Help where you can. Help where you can.